So in past perfect continuous tense, we used to talk about the actions that have started and continued for some time in the past. And to indicate the duration of that sometime in which that action has started and continued, we use for and since. And this describes when the action has started and how long it continued in the past. For example, I had been writing articles on various topics for 3 hours, and they had been reading different kinds of books since morning. We had been enjoying the program thoroughly for 3 hours. So you see that this tense refers to the actions that have started and continued for some period of time, and the period of time is also being mentioned. Next, we continue our continue with our future tense, and we would start with the future indefinite or the future simple tense. We use the future indefinite tense for actions that will happen in the future, and in order to indicate those actions, what are the grammatical rules that are applied in this tense? We use shall and will as a helping verb with all the nouns and pronouns, and we use the first form of the verb. Shall is used with I and we, whereas will is used with the rest of the pronouns and nouns as well. However, will can also be used with I and we to express certainty. तो जब भी हम अपनी कोई strong will शो करना चाहते हैं या जब हम बहुत certain होते हैं किसी चीज़ के बारे में, तो हम I और we के साथ भी will लगा देते हैं. So I shall eat pizza. That refers to some future action. I will do this work, so that express your strong will and your certainty. That's why you use I with will. Here you are not that much certain, therefore you will say I shall eat pizza. They will take benefits from the government by protesting. So you see, use of will and shall, and the first form of the verb is applied in future indefinite tense. And that is not all. We could also choose from other forms too to express the future tense, like not only will or shall, not only the future indefinite tense, but we could also use going to in order to indicate some future action. You could also choose to express a future action by choosing the present continuous tense as well as the present simple tense. For example, the police will conclude their investigation of the computer fraud next week. ये future को indicate कर रहा है, लेकिन उसके लिए हमने writer ने choose किया है simple future या future indefinite tense. In the second example, the police conclude their investigation of the computer fraud next week. The writer chose simple present or present indefinite tense to express a future action. The police are concluding their investigation of the computer fraud next week. The writer chose present continuous tense to express a future action. And the police will be concluding the investigation of the computer fraud next week. The writer chose future continuous to express a future action. मतलब क्या है कि हम कोई भी future event है उसको express करने के लिए हम in variety of forms में से कोई भी form choose कर सकते हैं. और writing में हम ये भी कर सकते हैं कि again and again एक ही form choose करने की बजाय हम इन सब में से हम variety choose करेंगे in order to come up with the varied expressions or in order to bring variety in our writing. नेक्स्ट देयर इज द फ्यूचर कंटिन्यूस टेंस. कंटिन्यूस से आपको पता चल रहा है ऐसी चीज जो ऑनगोइंग है, और फ्यूचर से पता चल रहा है कि फ्यूचर में ऑनगोइंग होगी. सो फ्यूचर कंटिन्यूस टेंस रिप्रेजेंट्स अ कंटिन्यूस एक्शन व्हिच विल हैपन इन द फ्यूचर. फॉर एग्जांपल, I will be writing articles on different topics, and I will not be attending the program because of my busy schedule, and I will be arranging all the necessary materials for the program, and we will be shopping in the market this Monday. You will be shopping at that market tomorrow, and I'll be attending the program of my university on Friday. So this express an action which will be continued in the future. Next, future perfect, future and perfect. The future perfect tense is used to indicate a future event that has a definite event date, that has a specific end date. एक ऐसा एक्शन कि जो फ्यूचर में होगा लेकिन कंप्लीट हो चुका हुआ होगा, उसके लिए हम यूज करते हैं फ्यूचर परफेक्ट टेंस. So they indicate something that will happen in the future, but that something will have ended. Like Amr will have gardened by them. तुम ये भी कह सकते हो, if you talk about yourself, you would say we will have secured a degree in 2024, and so you will have worked 10 hours by Saturday. एक कोई ऐसी चीज के जो complete हो चुकी होगी till Saturday. So the 10 hours of working will occur between now and the Saturday. If the future is progressing, like if there is the future continuous tense, you would indicate, you would express the actions or the things which are ongoing. फ्यूचर प्रोग्रेसिव टेंस में, फ्यूचर कंटिन्यूस टेंस में आप ऐसे एक्शंस का बताओगे कि जो ऑनगोइंग है. वेयर एज इन फ्यूचर परफेक्ट टेंस, if the future is perfect, then things are happening but with an end date, you would express the actions that have ended, right? To indicate the future perfect tense, we, yeah, okay, this is the formula, these are the grammatical rules: will plus have plus verb, and the third form of the verb. The storm will have raged by the time we arrive. Mom will have cooked her favorite meal. Henry will have ran, sorry, it will be Henry will have run by 10 o'clock, and the plants will have grown by then. Next, there is future perfect tense examples. So that's what we already had talked about, that future perfect tense represents an action which will have occurred at some time in the future. And if two actions take place, if there is the need to express two actions that would take place in future, then the first one would be the future perfect tense and the second one would be simple present tense. ये बिल्कुल ऐसे है जैसे हमने जब past perfect tense किया था, तो उसमें था कि जब दो actions पास में होते हैं तो पहले action के लिए हम past perfect tense यूज करते हैं और दूसरे action के लिए हम past simple यूज करते हैं. अब यहाँ पे है कि जब फ्यूचर में कोई इस तरह से दो एक्शन इकट्ठे होते हैं तो पहले के लिए फ्यूचर परफेक्ट टेंस और दूसरे के लिए सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस. फॉर एग्जांपल, Robert will have read various kinds of books. Okay, I will have written articles on different topics before you come. So you see, we'll have written articles, future perfect tense, before you come, simple present or present indefinite tense. They will have played football in that field before you reach. पहले के लिए future perfect, for the second present indefinite. April will have gone to the coffee shop before she comes here, before he comes to the class, and before the class starts. So you see, future perfect plus present simple, अगर दो action हमने state करनी हो तो. So next is the future perfect continuous tense, which represents a continuous action which will be done at a certain time in the future. And if two actions take place in the future, the first one which will be continued is future perfect continuous and the second one is simple present. वही चीज जो हमने पीछे भी देखी थी. और इसमें ये है कि आप एक ऐसा एक्शन एक्सप्रेस करते हो कि जो कंटिन्यूस स्टेज में है और उसमें आप ड्यूरेशन ऑफ टाइम भी मेंशन कर सकते हो फॉर एंड सिंस के साथ. For example, I will have been writing articles on different topics for 3 hours. ये हो गया हमारा future perfect tense, जिसमें हमने एक ऐसा action जो continued stage में था और state में था और कितने time से continued state में था वो बता दिया before you come, और साथ में हमने present simple use करके एक दूसरा action जिसके साथ state कर दिया है. Robert will have been reading various kinds of books for a week on this topic. So here we have not stated the second action, but we have stated only one action where we have mentioned the thing which have been in a continued state and we have mentioned the time, for how much time that thing was in a continued state. So next, Bob will have been studying in the library since morning. One action before he comes to the class, the other action. So on and so forth. You will have a look at the rest of the examples too, and I hope you understood. Thank you so much.